Okay, welcome back to the tutorials. We're going to assume that you've already watched the setting up your Unity environment for ARConnex quick video. And so we're going to pick up from where that left off and take a look at the ARConnex starter scene. And so this basically will give us an example of how this production workflow takes place. We'll go through, we'll create an asset bundle and upload it to ARConnex, and we'll also back up our master work so we can get back to it in a later date. And so here we have a prefab on the stage here, or on the scene. And this prefab is basically a collection of children game objects underneath of a parent. And it's basically an empty game object that's centered out in the center of the world. If you come from another 3D package, an empty game object would be possibly called a null object. So it's basically just an object that doesn't have any components other than its position. And when it's reset to 0, 0, it's at the center of the world. And this is going to become our parent object. And if you were starting one from scratch, you would give it a name that's readable, and we give it some random string of characters, and then a numeric value. And that way we can iterate as we go through iterations of our production. And then we have the humanly readable name and then a random string to keep everything unique. And so we're going to go ahead and just delete this prefab. We're going to reset the prefab back to unpack it so that it's just a random set of game objects. And then what we're going to do is we're going to increment or add our unique characters. We'll delete this one since we don't need it right now. And so here we have this hierarchy, the null game object, empty game object at the top, with our naming convention, which we'll be using in a number of spots. And then to create the prefab, all you do is drag this top level into your assets area. And so now this prefab stores all of the settings and components and elements that go into all of the objects that are children of it. And so it gives you one nice wrapped package. And you can almost think of this, if you use a reference to Photoshop, this would be like your PSD file that has all of your uncompressed elements. And we're going to use the same name, copy that name, and at the bottom when you select the prefab, you'll see the asset bundle tab. We're just going to create new, and we'll paste in that name. And so the asset bundles, you can think of them as the PNG or JPEG that you save out from your uncompressed Photoshop file. So if we hit refresh here and take a look at this asset bundle that we've just named, it's basically gone and collected all of the elements that are needed, the surfaces, the materials, the geometry, any fonts that are needed. Everything will be collected into this one particular asset bundle. And all we have to do is save that out for Android and iOS. And so once that saves, we can switch it over to Android and do the same. If you don't have the asset bundle folder in your project, it'll go ahead and save that for you. And we'll take a look at that in a second. So here we see the asset bundle folder. It's gone ahead and made our iOS folder. And within it, we'll see the file that we just made. Starts with a D here. So this file here is what will be uploaded. And then on Android, we have that same file that just finished making. And so if you wanted to send this off to a team member who's managing the uploads, you would just select these two files and compress them. And then the compression, we normally recommend using the exact same file name, and that keeps everybody consistent. And then if you were to extract this file, what you'll end up with is your iOS version and your Android version. And that's what we're going to be uploading to ARConnex. And so to back up your PSD file, your PSD type file, you have your prefab here. You can simply export this as a package, and now it's going to go ahead and do the same thing that the asset bundle browser did, and collect all those elements, but these are all the uncompressed elements. And so the asset bundle browser will compress everything specific for the platform it's going out to. And this is going to be all of your master elements that you can simply drag and drop in later. So a week from now, you get changes. We'll get rid of this. Go back to a nice clean project. If you have all your elements that go into your experience in one folder, you can simply delete all of them. Right, so now you basically are back to a nice clean project. And to bring those back in, you can simply just take that file, you just export it, drop it back in, and all of the folder structure will be retained, and you're back to right where you were. So you can just drag this in. You can increment your value here for number 2, make any changes, and then upload the new version. Okay, here we are at ARConnex.com, and we're simply going to log into our account. And we're going to head and hit Create AR. We'll give this a name. Could be anything. We can either go and click to download the particular file or simply drag and drop our target image on, which we'll go ahead and do that. And we're going to go to AR 3D as our type. And we're going to need this name that we've used for our asset bundles. So we can copy that and paste that into this top slot. There are help drop downs for each entry. Basically, it just gives an overview of what each element is. There's only a few of them. Android will go into Android. We could add MP3 audio. In this case, we'll just continue. These are the last optional settings. You could just hit publish right now. But we're going to head and we'll add a call to action graphic and a link. This could also be a deep link that will link to other experiences. Let's drop our logo graphic in to its slot. And again, these help drop downs will let you know what these options are. The description will be seen in the showcase if you opt to include this experience in the showcase. And now it's going to upload the content and build all of the code connections in the background, which it's done. And then we're going to push to cloud, and it should be live in just about a second. There it is. And so here's your deep link. This can be worked into your e-commerce page or any mobile web link. And then this video on the side basically is loaded from a deep link. And so we can go ahead and take a look at that while I bring up the cloud scan mode on the other side. But we can go ahead and play this, and this is loaded. It recognizes the ground plane. You can move it out and place it where you like. And then the end user has the ability to scale that experience as they see fit. And as a creator, you have the ability to override our standard UIs and hide that scalability or the rotation controls or the ability to flip it. You can edit these experiences at any time, and right now I'm going to edit this to starting orientation to flip, since I know we'll be looking at it in a wall-mounted kind of way here in a second. And we'll just push that update to the cloud, and that should be instantly ready, and it is. So here we're going to start ARConnex, the reality browser. We'll click on our target image to bring it up large. And the user just simply has to look at that particular target image. It'll be recognized and then display that experience instantly for the user. So we have our call to action at the bottom that shows that they can toggle for glass. And they can toggle for glass that's actually refracting the real world environment behind it. And so that's ARConnex, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. And we'll talk more about the interactive controls and how we can add custom UIs, override the UIs, and build interactive, engaging experiences for our future viewers.